Hi, and welcome to Ask an Atheist, a weekly educational call-in program dedicated to atheism, skeptical inquiry, and the separation of church and state. We air live from Scan TV in Seattle every Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, and our program is archived online at www.askanatheist.tv. My name is Casey Dorn, and with me, my Chewbacca to my Han Solo, Mike Gillis.
Hey, how's it going,
How's it going, Mike?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How good is pretty good?
Moderately ditto.
Okay,
or
right.
neato.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of we've got a good topic today. Actually, I think this might be our most offending topic that we've ever done on the show here. In your face topic.
Well, we're young yet.
Yeah.
So.
I think first and foremost we should get all the announcements out of the way and whatnot. After the show today, instead of going to the RAM like we normally would, we're back-to-back against the Seattle Atheist July membership meeting, which is today at 5 p.m. at the Stone Soup Theater, which is at 4035 North Stone Way. And the actually, I really want to see this. The speaker is Harry Gilbert, who is a science writer, a former science teacher, and a former rocket engineer. So if you ever want to talk to a rocket scientist, we're going to get the chance. And this is going to be on dark matter in the universe. So maybe it's a little geeky, a little nerdy necessarily, and I don't know if dark matter relates to atheism, except that maybe dark energy is what fuels people's spiritualism. I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought it was nonsense.
So that's where we're going to be after the show instead of going to the RAM. So if you guys are in the area, if you want to come out to a good talk, and you can meet us and the rest of the members of the Seattle Atheists organization, come on out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we've got a couple other announcements. First and foremost, I wanted to give props to the Freethinkers United Network meetup, which is basically a grouping of atheists, freethinkers, skeptics, people like yourself who get together on the first and third Fridays, I think, for dinners with discussion. And they're also, this is all cross-marketed with our own show. So I guess the Freethinkers United Network also, they get reminders to watch our show too, so we're going to pimp them. You can find them on www.meetup.com. And I think the next one is August 6th at 6 p.m. in Bellevue at the Maple Leaf Chinese restaurant. So if you want more information, meetup.com, and that's the Freethinkers United Network.
Yeah.
And if you want to have, if you are I know we've done this before, but let's keep doing it. If you're an atheist, agnostic, or free thought group in the state of Washington and you'd like to get some props here on the air, please email us at, and you can find our email address at www.askanatheist.tv, and of course, all of our archive shows are there. And pretty soon we're going to have an update to the website. So we just saw some screenshots today, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it actually, the majority of our emails tend to come from people who want to know where the podcast is. And
right.
So just know that you have Sam successfully running around freaking out over this. So
right.
Yes.
No, we're slowly sort of spinning up to having a respectable media, like internet media project.
We're not respectable yet?
No, I think we're sub-respectable.
We're disreputable.
That's exactly where we want to be right now.
Okay.
So do you think we should move right into news stories?
Oh,
some news
that
stuff?
works. We can do news stories.
So I think you got the first one, and the most exciting one of the week, I think.
Yeah, this is exciting. This actually is a bit of a chocolate peanut butter thing for me. You know, two things that I love to talk about coming together. The Westboro Baptist Church, famous for protesting military funerals, and the first successful implementation of live-action internet trollery. They are going to protest San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Oh, I really want to be there.
I would love to
really
be. I would love to be at San Diego Comic-Con, period. But the fact that they're going to be there too, they're probably going to be some of the actually one of the more interesting costume character shows going on at. So anyways,
no,
I guess
I would like to go there just dressed up as one of the 4 members of the Village People and have assless chaps on and just dance around in front of them. I think just really shoving it in their face, you know, I think that'd be fantastic.
I think they have a lot of assless chaps shoved in their face over the years. That's always the weird thing that I'm pushing around a paranoid, delusional person is that you just end up sort of reaffirming their paranoia that everyone is out to get them. Or instead, they're really just kind of a costume clown character. I had this actually, Sam and I were at the University Village Street Fair a few years ago, and there was one of those guys with a giant sign that said, "Repent or burn."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to get a picture taken with that guy. But I initially thought that he was going to say no. Because I mean, if I was out there among the unwashed heathens, you know, screaming that they're going to go to hell and making sure I have a giant sign to rub it in, I would have simply assumed that anyone who has to take a picture with me is doing it to make fun of me, because I mean, you're in a group of people that everyone disagrees with you, and I'd have to assume, okay, this is a trick or a trap of some kind.
Right.
And Sam basically said, no, these guys here for attention.
Right.
And there was like no resistance. I walked up, and he's in the middle of an argument with just some random person about something biblical, and he was telling them that they were just going to go to hell.
Right.
And I just said, hi, can I have my picture taken with you? And he just goes, oh, sure. I mean, he's screaming from, oh, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Right. And immediately, oh, yeah, I'll have my picture taken with you. And yeah, I even asked him to turn it around to the sign that says "Repent or Burn" because I thought it would make a more interesting photograph.
Well, in that instance, just for all of our atheist freethinkers out there, don't feed the trolls. Even the live action one. Don't do it. It's never a good idea.
But anyways, I guess this is what they were basically saying on their website. They said that Comic-Con represents idolatry.
Sure.
What was this? He says, if these people would spend even some of the energy that they spend on these comic books reading the Bible, well, no high hopes there. And I just find it funny. I actually think there's better moral values you could get out of any comic book. I mean, at least one's not written by like Frank Miller. I think Frank
Anything
Miller
from Sin City, probably not.
Well, I think Frank Miller, the stuff he writes generally has the same tone as the Old Testament in a lot of ways. But I guess he was saying at some point, it says the destruction of this nation is imminent, so start calling on Batman and Superman now and see if they can pull you from the mess you've created with all your silly idolatry.
It feels like if the destruction is imminent, then why not just live it up? Then why not have the most immoral life possible?
That's what I find so funny is he's asking us to call upon two other fictional characters, Superman and Batman, and I would also make the argument that they're also morally superior than the God of the Bible, simply because Superman will save you whether you believe in him or not.
That's true.
It isn't like, and the other thing too is that he's not like Superman created the trap with Lex Luthor or the parasite or whatever himself, and then promised to protect you from it as part of some protection racket. Like, oh well, it looks like you're in trouble with this trap that I created myself. Who can save you from it?
Well, even Batman as a character, he has to go through many wrenching moral quandaries about whether or not he should save or should not, or should kill or should not. Like, if more characters in the Old Testament had the restraint that Batman did about wanting to murder someone or kill someone for justice, then I think the Old Testament probably would have been a lot more readable.
Yeah,
a lot more readable text.
It's like the equivalent would be if Batman actually broke the Joker out of Arkham Asylum himself and set him loose on some family, and then, hey, I'm here to save you. I mean, it's just a giant scam, but I find it hilarious that these guys.
Well, there's going to be a counter protest, to be sure. I mean, there always is, and this time there's enough people that can who like tongue-in-cheek sort of.
You don't mess with nerds.
Flash mobs.
They're going to be out there. I mean, it turns into a simple game of poke the crazy people with a stick and giggle. I mean, that's what they're going to get. They might not get the screaming renunciations they get at military funerals, but they're hilarious.
Yeah. No, I think they'll be laughed out like they are before, but.
I mean, more so with this crowd.
So the second piece of news is, and I forgot to print it up and bring it with me, but both you and I read it and talked about it. So essentially, the Vatican has. It's renewed an edict about what it thinks about ordaining women into the Catholic Church, and they basically said, given that they're now, and they have been mired in their pedophilia scandal, they basically said, well, if there's anyone who tries to ordain a woman into the Catholic Church, they should be excommunicated immediately. Basically, immediately they should be dropped from church support. So basically this puts women priests, just below raping children in the hierarchy of things that are done wrong, because with if you're a pedophile priest, then they don't excommunicate you, they just kind of shuffle you away to another parish. And
there actually was one instance where there was a priest who wasn't punished at all simply because he refused to accept his punishment, and it's like, wow, that's all you had to do? Yeah. Well, I don't accept this. Imagine saying that to a cop.
Right. But do you think they have any ground whatsoever to basically not immediately excommunicate someone who's found to be sexually abusing little children? Do they have any justification whatsoever?
I don't understand why you don't just immediately drag them to a police station. I mean, that's what any decent person would do. I just find it really funny that they say this is just as bad as pedophilia, yet they have swifter punishment for things like this. It's like there was that little girl who was about 9 years old a few years ago who was raped in Brazil by her stepdad.